How's it going, guys? It's April 5th today. As you can tell, we got the truck underneath the seed treat auger. This is to treat our seed, if you didn't know what that is. Yeah, it looks like the same type of auger that you would use to unload your hopper bins, whether it be fertilizer, seed, grain, whatever it might be, and haul the product away. It's basically the exact same thing, but this is a storm treater. It's actually a specialized treater. Basically, the difference is the auger is the same, but the treater has all this, which is a little conveyor under there. So you just tie this up underneath your hopper. Has a little conveyor belt. It'll run full. You can see this with this clear window. Sorry about the wind. I do not have Hammy here with me right now, which is my mic. So then we have two pumps. 1, 2. Let me just go over here. Here's the brain of our operation right here. Yeah, we're talking about Ashton. That's Ashton right there. She's just stirring up a little bit of seed treat that we had to carry over from last year. So we got 1 pump, 2 pump, and these things just spin. That's all it is, just spin. I can never remember. This is the first time, right? I haven't treated any seed since last year, so I'm a little bit rusty, and I gotta try everything at least 4 times before I get it right. Okay? So then you stick this hose. It's a kind of a rubbery type hose. Nope, not this. You do not want to put that in the pumps. Okay? Just this hose. They actually use these pumps and hoses in hospitals. That's what I'm told. You stick it in there like that. It's probably the wrong way, but I'm just using this as an example. Make sure that it doesn't get pinched. And clamp down. There we go. And those little rollers. That's how you suck out your seed treat. Now you program those pumps in here. This is so we're going to put a 3/4 rate on this seed treat, and 3/4 rate of this crop aid is the stuff that we're using currently here right now. Pop this thing back out. USB drive to save your files. So you don't have to, this is your calibration tube. I'm probably not going to show you how to do all this, you guys, because to be honest, we're actually really trying to get going here, and anytime I want a video, well, it takes about 3 times too long, so maybe up to 4 times too long. So I'm just kind of giving you a quick run through, and then next time you see it, we're going to be treating, okay? So this would be your calibration tube. So then you would hook up your hoses, and you would just turn some levers, and you would hit calibrate, and you would want to, it should say 700 milliliters on here, and then you would just want to verify that it says 700 milliliters in your calibration tube. Once you got it calibrated, well, Mike, I've got questions. What happens if it says 700 on here and say 500 on your tube? Well, then you would put it, like once it's done its little calibration, it goes for so many seconds. Then you would actually punch in whatever your actual tube says. So it says 500, and then it just does a quick calculation internally, and then you do it again. But Mike, what about the 500 that's still in your tube? Well, then it actually draws it right back. It sucks it right back out, sticks it back in the tote is what it does. And then you redo it again until finally it's close enough that it's either good enough or it's pretty much right on the money. Now, seed treat's pretty expensive, you guys. It goes, it's not, it actually works out to dollars per acre. That's about how expensive it is. Or dollars per bushel, depending on how heavy you seed. Either way, it's gonna be dollars per acre. So anyways, this is the brain. This is your calibration tube. You can make many jobs in here until you run out of memory, like about Mike, what happened to Mike. And yeah, and then this just ties up underneath here, and then we'll open it up, and we just keep this thing plump full, so you can just open it right up and it won't spill out. I know it's kind of crazy, but it won't spill out. You won't have to worry about that. Probably shouldn't have this in there. Kick that up there, and there's that little conveyor. And then you have a nozzle here. Say what? Yeah, you can pick that up. Here's a nozzle, basically like a gigantic spray nozzle. And it just goes right down into there, okay? And I think there's actually one underneath here. Yeah, so there's 2 nozzles. And after that, so we can treat 2 products at one time here. And these just push on. Sometimes they don't push on very easy. Here, I can put it on. All right. And then this one, it pushes on in here. No, you don't use this because this fitting actually doesn't do us any good. Oh, and you can't actually treat It's actually impossible to treat any grain without having it on your hands, and probably without a little blow up on your face as well. I remember one year in particular, we were bubbling, and you're probably asking yourself, Mike, what is bubbling and why were you doing it? Because we actually took an air compressor and stuck the wand down here, and because we blended 4 to 1 with water, so for every 1 jug of seed treat we put in, we had to put 3 more jugs of water in. So anyway, of course, you know what happens. You probably don't, but seed treat is heavier. So seed treat goes down, the water all stays on top. Well, after about a few hours, that's what happens. The seed treat settles out. So every time you come and reload the truck, you got to stick the air compressor in there, go and bubble it, get it all bubbled up back up. So that way you have the percentages right. And so anyway, I thought I was going to be really smart. I thought I was going to be a really smart guy. And now I have to hold the wand in here and have blowback. I was just going to put the air compressor right on the valve. Just lock it right on there and then open the valve and then bubble it. Well, apparently these valves are not made to push on air, and it blew the top of this valve right out, and there was a wall of red that came flying out here. And let's just say I look like Elmo. All right, I was red from here all the way down. Like, I mean, like everything except for where I took my glasses off.
You should do that.
Okay, I'm gonna put this thing on. This thing's kind of getting stuck. There we go. That one's on, and then we got to grab this one, and this one goes over here. There we go. Awesome. We're good. All right, so change of plan. I'm actually gonna load up the HX and not my truck over there. This time anyway. Still a little low on air here, I guess. There we go. Whoa, wrong button. Yeah, I don't really drive the semis a whole lot. We all have our license. Even Ashton actually technically has her license. She's legal to drive the semis. This conveyor is going to be for, I think that might be our Foss. Pretty sure. I just told Ashton to hop in my truck and pull it out of the way, but of course it has to air up. While we're waiting for that truck to air up, I know you guys probably have a couple questions. Mike, how many autos do you have? We have 3 autos, and the rest of the trucks are 18 speeds. Well, Mike, why did you go to autos and why do you have 18? Everyone who can drive prefers 18. Everyone can drive in our operation, but sometimes you need to pick up some seasonal guys. Maybe there's some guys that are just fresh off the class 1, or there can be guys that can say they can drive and they really can't drive, but where the auto is just really easy. You don't have to worry about your transmission. You know what I'm saying? But around here, any of our crew, they all prefer the 18 speed. All right, there we go. Ashton's pulling ahead with that one. Let's pull ahead with ours. Underneath our seed treat auger. Mike, is your auger plugged in, that yellow extension cord? Yes, it is. Is it going to hurt your yellow extension cord to drive on it? Not at all. Try to look up in the mirror, try to figure out where your auger is. Right there, you can see it. You see it? So, sorry about that. We're going to keep going here. Mike, what's our goal? Our goal is to get it into the second hopper without being on a ring. Let's check that. Neutral, there we go. See how close we are here. Ooh, almost overshot. Oh no, perfect. Not on the ring, it's right there. There goes Ashton, she's waving like crazy. Okay, then she's gonna come back and we're gonna start treating up some seed here. As we're waiting for Ashton here, now every farmer is different. Every farm just does what works best for them, and that's okay, that's awesome. For us, we load phos in the first hopper because the Super Bee has 4 hoppers. Phosphate, that goes down with your seed. Seed. And then these 2 back hoppers, or this whole back trailer, is nitrogen and sulfur. Goes down your mid-row bander. So, you guys probably have a few questions about seed treat. So, I know I want to talk about a little bit about the seed treat real quick here. Depending on what crop, so for example, we got durum. Okay, this bin has durum, and durum we're going to put on Syngenta's Vibrance Quattro. So that's groups, hold on here, that's groups 3, 4, 7, and 12. It's all fungicides, okay? Well, Mike, what are you treating for? That's a great question. Remember when we got our seed tested there at the lab, and I kind of went through a little bit of that? Well, we are treating our seed for those very diseases. If you weren't sure, go back. I think you're gonna have to scroll through quite a few videos. It's seed testing, and we are testing our seed for different diseases basically. And this fungicide, Vibrance Quattro, that we're gonna put on here is gonna treat our seed for basically everything that we want to treat it for, okay? I'm not gonna go into all the books, like the bookwork of, you know, every disease that it treats. I don't have time for that. I gotta get a truck loaded. But this is treating our durum for fungicide, root rots, etc., 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 okay? This stuff is basically gonna act as a vigor trigger. Again, if you went back to our seed test, the tour of the seed lab, I talk about, and Shannon talks about, the vigor. Vigor is basically just getting it off to a really good start. It's basically like hit the ground running type deal, especially when you're gonna start planting out into really cold soil. When the soil's really cold, that seed is just gonna literally sit there until the soil warms up to, say, I don't know, 4 or 5 degrees. Each seed has its own temperature where it normally germinates. So it's just gonna sit there. So the problem with that is, if it sits there too long, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it can rot. It can literally die in the soil, and you're gonna have to reseed. Now, we don't like seeding twice around here. It's been done, as you guys know, but we try to keep it just to one time. So we're treating our seed for disease. Also, when it sits in the soil for a long period of time, it's also more prone to disease. You're just literally sitting there, it's cold. Basically, take all your clothes off, run naked, sit out in your lawn or something, and just spend a few nights out there. It's not gonna be that fun. Basically, we're just trying to coat it. We're gonna give it a jacket. We're gonna give it some mittens. We're gonna give it some earmuffs. We're gonna protect it. That way it can sit out there for a long period of time. Well, Mike, why does it have to sit out there for so long? Well, because we gotta get seeding. And it's not just about sitting out there for long periods of time. It's about basically like the harsh environments we're trying to protect it against. We're trying to protect it against the different diseases that's in the soil. That's soil-borne disease. Right, Ashton? Right. So that's why we're treating it. Okay? If you can't get your crop off to a good start, in my opinion, everyone's entitled to their opinion, believe me, you can't get it back. If it starts off poor, it's just going to be a poor crop all the way through. You can top dress it, you can foliar it, you can do a whole pile of different things through the growing season when it's 5 leaf, 6 leaf, all the way up to flagging, heading. You can do a lot of different things, but if you can't get that crop off to a heck of a good start, it's just never going to amount to a whole lot. So very, very important that you get it off to the best possible start possible. This other stuff, I don't promote anything. I don't promote it, but this is the stuff that we're going to be using this year. This is basically the vigor trigger. It's going to hold it in the soil. It's going to get... Ashton, do you know anything about this stuff? Where'd you go over there? Basically, we're getting our micronutrients. We're getting a bunch of micronutrient package. We're putting on the macronutrients. Macronutrients is like your nitrogen, your phosphate, your sulfurs, your...
You're getting your micros, but you're getting everything coated in your seed.
Yeah.
So it's right there for its kickstart.
So basically, we're trying to get this off to the best possible start that we can do.
It also has its products. Which
Yeah, kelp and lignin.
That's what's going to give it its name.
No idea what all this stuff is. You got to pretty much have a PhD to understand farming anymore. But anyway, we got to get going. We got to get treating. Drills are waiting. We have done absolutely nothing because we're videoing. Okay, we got to get going. Do some calibrating here, but I just wanted to show you this. So we're just going to do the push and prime. See? So you want it to draw, so it's going to have to draw up. So pop this thing around. You want to push down on that there, Ashton? Push it, squishing my hose here. Yeah. Is this out of the way? Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
What? Is it kinked?
There.
Good?
Good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, now push and prime. There we go. So, oh, I guess I should open up all the valves. That would probably help. That would definitely do the trick. There we go, valve is open. There it is, see? Woo, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It's going home. All right, okay. And that's gonna go in here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna start. Basically, it's just gonna do its thing. It's gonna go a certain amount of revolutions, okay? And then, so we got to about here, so we're around 700, and so say 750, it's close enough. So 750 milliliters, then you put in 750. Oops, 750. Sorry, you guys can't see where I'm typing here. I'm looking at the screen and not my camera. There we go, and then hit next. There we go. And then we're gonna do the process again. So we were out by 75%. Then you just push to empty, and look at that, it's going down. It doesn't look like it's going down because I gotta wash that thing up. That, believe me, that is a huge pet peeve of mine. If you don't wash this stuff off, guys, it's like paint. I can hear it's running empty. Okay, so now I gotta pop this thing out. Obviously not when I'm holding the camera. I gotta wash this thing back out, slap it back in there. We're gonna keep repeating the process on one, and then we're gonna repeat the process on two, and hopefully within about 4 or 5, 7 hours, hopefully we'll be done. Okay, so there was a massacre, and we don't want to talk about it. They're rushing him to the hospital right now. Of course, I'm just joking. This is just us trying to clean out this tube. I keep rinsing it up with some gas. You know, a guy really needs a toilet cleaner. If a guy had a toilet cleaner, hindsight, that would probably help. But anyway, we got about as good as it's gonna get for right now. Oh yeah, I'll just jam that back in there. And anyway, we gotta get going and gotta clean up my mess. Okay, so yeah, so when you turn everything on and want to start treating, make sure the little transmission is in the forward motion, not reverse. Mike, why was it in reverse? Because last year we cleaned it out, and I should have gave it a run first. So round two, here it is. Okay, we're treating. We gotta hurry up and get up here, see what it looks like. And there we go. Normally I would reach over, but I can't. Too far away here. I'll just stand right up on it here. All right. There it is, you guys. That's durum, which is in the same family as wheat, basically, but they use durum for pasta, wheat for bread. So we're gonna load this hopper right up with seed. We're gonna load that hopper up with phosphorus, and that back trailer with our mid-row blend, which is a nitrogen sulfur ratio. Excuse me. So that's good. That's a pretty good color. That's what we're looking for. You don't want it too wet, and it's not. All right, let's just step down over here without falling off the trailer. unit. We do a running leak. Oh. Okay. You always want to keep track of stuff here. Okay, we started there. We always mark it every load. That way we can keep tracking it. It's just another way that we can verify that we're not putting too much on. You don't want to over apply and you don't want to under apply. One of these totes, one tote, just one, is like 25,000 bucks or 27,000 bucks or something like that. Just one. And we go through pallets and pallets and pallets of them. So if all of a sudden you put this stuff on too heavy, you might have just dumped out $10,000 literally just like that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be doing that. Well, she's like, oh, put the camera away, put the camera away. So it goes down here. Down there, and again, it's spraying right here, right? I won't take it off because I don't want to get messy. It's also spraying under here. Drops it into there and up the auger it goes. And while it's going up the auger, it's mixing even more. Counting out the pounds. Both pumps are just a rocking away. And that's seed treating, you guys. That's seed treating. All right, you guys have yourself a good one. Where are you going?
My work here is done.
Oh, you came to help out and that's it. Say what?
Well, you got it.
Hey, I got this. She actually has faith in me. Can you believe that? Let's go up here and check it again. Yeah. So we're hoping to get seed in here within the next couple days. It's been drying up the seed probably for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah. But it's just too cold. It's just too cold. All right, guys. That's it. You guys had yourself a good one. I got a lot of seed to treat. But we have to load all the drills, and there's like 5 to load. That means I probably gotta load 7 trucks. 7 trucks. 7 trucks. Better get going. Better get going. Adios, guys. There, we're basically full. Yeah, I'm back. Oh, and correction. 20,000 a tote, not 25. Just depends on whether you have CVQ, depends on if you have what type of seed treatment you have. So I just want to make a little update on the correction on that. Alrighty. And then what you want to do, we started here, we put a line right there, we ended, and you want to reference what the monitor says. Basically all we're doing is we're just double, triple checking. 27,357 pounds, works out to like 450-ish, give or take, bushels. And that's probably about what we put in that hopper. So I think we're probably on track so far. Lastly, always very important to re-shut off your valves. Turn that off. Turn that one off. And then over here, you want to loosen the pressure on these hoses. Just like this. Just like this. All right, that's what you want to do. You can leave this full, that's fine. We'll be back. We're gonna go load up some fert. No, sorry, you won't be hanging around for that. I do not have enough battery for all that. And I'll catch you guys on the flipper. Adios, amigos. I changed my mind. I'm gonna try and get it done with this battery. We'll see how it goes. This is the phosphorus. This is pre-blended, you guys. Well, Mike, what is your blend? Well, it's an 840-13 right there. 840-13 means it has 1152, and it's also blended with some potash. And now I can't remember. I just gotta watch, make sure these stacks don't hit the conveyor. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, she's good. That's Ashton driving there. And I'm gonna stop her right. A little bit more. A little bit more. A Little bit more, yeah. Right there. Hopefully we're not on a line. What are the odds that we're on a line? When I mean line, I say bar. Am I on a bar? Can't tell. Bar. What I mean is these bars, you don't want to land right on a bar because it can, it's hard on your grain. It can crack your grain and mulch up your fertilizer. So you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to get Ashton to back up a little bit here. More. Keep coming, a little more. Keep coming. Little bit more. Little bit more. That's good right there. Whoa. All right, let's start loading. So this is a conveyor, different from an auger, right? Augers chew up a little bit. This is a conveyor. Ashton's gonna open it up a little bit here. We're just trying to get, this is nitrogen, we're trying to get it flowing. We're making a bit of a mess here right now because all these clumps keep coming out. Give you a poke hole to poke it. Ashton's running it, making sure she doesn't plug her auger. Once we get it flowing, it should be okay. So we don't use a conveyor for nitrogen because it's so clumpy. We want the auger to bust them all up. And then that's our finished product, that's white. And over here, this is our seed and that's our FOS. We already loaded our FOS with the conveyor. So nitrogen, sulfur, that's white. So actually sulfur isn't really that white, but it's our phosphate. Red stuff is potash. We're actually very rich here in Saskatchewan with potash. Very, very rich. You would never even have to put any potash in. But we still throw a little bit in just because. Alright guys, we're going to finish loading this up. You have yourself a good one. And it's pretty common for nitrogen not to flow very well, especially since it's blended with sulfur. It does not like to flow. Sulfur does not store very well. Nitrogen doesn't store very well. FOS stores fine. I'm going to go down there, keep poking at it a little bit to get the flow going. And I'll catch you guys on the flipper. Adios!